Alice Phillips' Desert Diary into Egypt's timeless sands. Day 1. From Cairo's chaos to Bahariya's serenity, I woke up to the faint buzz of Cairo's morning energy. Cars honking, vendors shouting, life already in full swing. But by 7 a.m., I was whisked away from that whirlwind and diving headfirst into the vast stillness of the western desert. The road to Bahariya Oasis stretched endlessly, a ribbon of asphalt cutting through shades of gold and burnt sienna. I dozed off, woke up, and watched sandstorms whirl like dancers in the distance. After about 4 hours, we arrived at Bahariya, and just stepping out of the air-conditioned car felt like entering another world. Dry, fragrant with dust and palm trees, ancient in every whisper of wind. Lunch was simple and hearty. Warm bread, grilled vegetables, and the freshest dates I've ever tasted. Then came the real adventure. First, we visited the Golden Mummy showroom. A surreal window into a time where death was gilded. The mummies, surprisingly well preserved, seemed more regal than eerie. I remember being especially struck by the lifelike, golden-plated faces, each one staring back at me like they knew I was just passing through. Next stop, the noble tombs from Egypt's 26th dynasty. Walking down into the earth through narrow stone corridors, I felt the weight of centuries above me. In particular, the tomb of Benentiu was haunting, its wall paintings fading, but fierce. Oh, so fierce. A reminder of how deeply the ancients revered the afterlife. But my favorite part of the day, climbing the English house, a crumbling colonial outpost with panoramic views of the oasis. Wind-whipped and breathless, I watched the sunset cast a warm glow over the palm groves and mud brick homes. It was like the world paused just for me. Day's highlight, standing atop the English house as the sun dipped low. I felt like I was staring at a page from a forgotten explorer's journal. Day 2, from black sands to white dreams. After breakfast, we hit the road again, this time straight into a landscape that looked like the set of a sci-fi movie. Our first stop was the Black Desert. And let me tell you, it lives up to its name. Picture a stretch of ochre sand, blanketed in volcanic black stones and dusty basalt peaks. I scooped up a handful of the dark pebbles, letting them run through my fingers like tiny relics of ancient eruptions. Next came El Haizeh St. George Oasis, a natural hot spring bubbling miraculously in the middle of nowhere. I dipped my hands in, hot, almost too hot, and imagined how precious this water must be for desert travelers. A short walk revealed a small patch of greenery clinging to life, a miracle in the sand. Then we reached Crystal Mountain. I've seen quartz before, but nothing prepared me for this. Gleaming shards catching the sunlight, embedded in rock like a treasure hoard. I was crouched low, trying to photograph a glinting piece of crystal, when our guide chuckled and said, "Careful, or you'll want to take the whole mountain home." By midday, we were rumbling through the jaw-dropping valley of Agabat, a landscape of smooth white dunes, coral-colored cliffs, and jagged limestone forms. At one point, we stopped to climb a dune barefoot, and from the top, the view made me breathless. It felt like standing on another planet. Finally, we arrived at the White Desert National Park, Egypt's surreal crown jewel. Wind-carved chalk formations rose from the sand like ghostly mushrooms and frozen clouds. I could barely believe it was real. We set up camp right there, just tents, stars, and silence. Dinner was cooked over a fire, grilled meat, rice, and mint tea under a sky so bright with stars it looked photoshopped. I lay on my back afterward, wrapped in a camel blanket, staring at the Milky Way. I didn't want to close my eyes. Oh, day's highlight, watching moonlight paint the white desert in soft silver, making even the silence feel sacred. Sitting cross-legged with a cup of hot tea, I watched the sunrise over the chalk formations, each one casting long shadows as if stretching from sleep. I'd never seen such soft beauty in such a harsh place. After breakfast, we packed up and began the long drive back to Cairo. As the desert slowly gave way to civilization, I sat quietly in the back of the 4x4, clutching my camera and journal, already nostalgic for the wilderness I was leaving behind. The city felt jarring at first. Cars, noise, neon signs. But deep down, I carried the hush of the desert with me. A part of me had changed. Day's highlight, that final sunrise in the white desert, pure, wordless magic that stayed with me long after the journey ended.